of YouTube, and well met. I am the Journeyman, and I welcome you once again to my channel and to the thoughts spiraling out from my mind. Today, I should like to touch on a subject that is near and dear to me. And it's near and dear to me for reasons that, once I state the topic, should be, well, rather obvious. Anonymity. Internet anonymity. The pros and the cons. I realize, believe me, the irony, or as some would probably like to state, the hypocrisy of trying to speak on negative aspects of the utilization of anonymity on the internet as a man in a mask is not lost on me. Believe me, I realize that the irony is thick enough that you could walk on it. I am wonderfully aware of that. However, there are both pros and cons, as there are in any such subject of discussion. As has recently been evidenced and evinced by the utilization of sites such as 4chan, specifically the forum page B. The anonymity of the internet can be a tool. You can access certain sites and forums in order to obtain information about other individuals. Sometimes this information is used in the most horrendous of fashions, and this saddens me. I grieve when such tools are abused. Recently, the user Dixicomic, a rather well-known user on this video forum, utilized his connections within the 4chan community in order to obtain information, very personal information, with regards to the user Nuclear Knight. Now, I won't go into specifics because if you're watching this, more than likely you are familiar with the situation. We saw the atrocious end to which such tools can be used. He has since removed his threat, but we are left gasping. We are left with the weight of knowing that such things can be abused. However, we must not, in our attempts to rectify such situations, allow ourselves to have a complete knee-jerk reaction and attempt to destroy anonymity. Sometimes people want to have the opportunity to be unknown, to be able to make a statement or an observation, and not be concretely attached to it, either because the statements or observations or inquiries are of a volatile nature, are of a scandalous nature, or perhaps, and I'm certain that this has happened more than a few times, perhaps people simply want to be able to pose a question without attaching their exposed ignorance to themselves. I myself have many questions for the whole of the YouTube community, and I will address them all in good time. There are 4 individuals on this site who know who I am behind this mask. They understand my reasoning. I'm not hiding my face in order to perpetrate some internet crime. I'm not seeking to abuse the user base and the viewers of these videos, or the potential viewers of these videos. I mean no ill will by hiding behind this mask. I merely wish to be able to discuss certain topics, to ask certain questions, and to hold dialogue with individuals who may not very well be inclined to converse with who I really am. Behind the mask, there is another person, but that person is the same as I. And we have questions. I have questions, observations, comments, inquiries, and statements to make that I don't necessarily want to distract from what I am trying to do with my other account and persona. And this is another reason, another benefit of anonymity. Now, the four individuals who are familiar with who I am behind this mask understand that I mean no ill will by utilizing this garb. They understand what it is I seek to do with this channel, with this account. Not everybody who utilizes a mask, who disguises themselves, not everyone who hides themselves, does it necessarily for malicious intentions. There is, of course, going to be concern. There are going to be questions. People are going to want to know who is behind that mask, who is behind that anonymous name, that user account identification. Ignorance is not always bliss. And those who wear masks and disguises are not always bad people. And though, yes, we must ever be vigilant and be on the watch for people who will abuse anonymity, the abuses must not be made to shine in the light as a justification for destroying our ability to function, to ponder, and to make observations and statements with the armor of anonymity. I have rambled perhaps too long on this subject, but it is near and dear to me, as a man who wears a mask. Well, I have rambled, as I said. There are benefits, and there are problems that arise from having anonymous users. Perhaps someday, those of us who utilize these masks, these personas, and who utilize forums like 4chan, perhaps at some point, people will look to us and appreciate the good that we can do, and that many of us try to do. Unfortunately, I fear that in an instant gratification culture of now, the overwhelming urge to indulge in a knee-jerk reaction will ultimately lead to the destruction of anonymity. Please, If you find yourself in a position to be anonymous, think, question your conscience before you do something in the name of anonymity, in the name of freedom of information and expression. Ponder the consequences before you act. That is all I have to say on the matter for now, ladies and gentlemen. Citizens of YouTube, I am the Journeyman, and I hope this finds you well. Adieu.